You don't have to believe in ghosts to feel a chill on the lonely roads of rural East Anglia. For over 5 centuries, people here have reported seeing the same creature, a towering black dog with blazing eyes. I'm Gabrielle, and this is TheEndReel, where I tell true ghost stories, folklore, myths, legends, and strange cases that defy explanation. Real accounts retold for those of us who can't help but wonder what lingers after death, and what's waiting just beyond what we understand. So wherever you're listening from, turn down the lights and let's begin. Across the windswept coasts and lonely footpaths of East Anglia, people have told the same story for centuries. A monstrous black dog, huge as a calf or even a small horse, drifting silently through graveyards, forests and storm-lit churches. They call him Black Shuck, a creature so deeply rooted in English folklore that his presence stretches back almost 500 years. Descriptions of him are surprisingly consistent across the centuries. Witnesses speak of a massive hound with glowing eyes, sometimes 2, sometimes 1, as big as a saucer, blazing with fire. That description comes directly from W.A. Dutt in his 1901 travel book, Highways and Byways in East Anglia. But long before Dutt wrote these words, Black Shuck's name was already infamous, largely because of one of the most terrifying events in English folklore. It happened on the 4th of August 1577, during a violent storm that tore across Norfolk and Suffolk. Holy Trinity Church in Blythburgh was full that morning when thunder cracked directly overhead, splitting the steeple and sending stone crashing through the roof. In the chaos, people swore a huge black dog burst through the doors and ran down the nave. This account was recorded the very same year by Abraham Fleming in a pamphlet titled A Strange and Terrible Wonder. His original words are still preserved, and are as follows. This black dog, or the devil in such a likeness, running all along down the church in the midst of the people, with great swiftness and incredible haste among the people, in a visible form and shape, passed between 2 persons as they were kneeling upon their knees, and wrung the necks of them both at one instant clean backwards. Moments later, Fleming wrote that a great clap of thunder struck again, adding, "There were at that same time a great clap of thunder, and presently a storm fell with rain, which broke through the chancel." To this day, inside Blythburgh Church, scorch marks remain on the wooden doors. Local tradition calls them the devil's fingerprints, the claw marks of Black Shuck himself. Whether caused by lightning or something stranger, they are real, physical, and still visible if you visit the church. What makes that morning even more unsettling is that, according to Fleming, Black Shuck didn't stop at Blythburgh. Only minutes later, the same creature was reportedly seen in Bungay, 12 miles away, bursting into St. Mary's Church as another service was underway. Fleming wrote, "This same black dog, still continuing his course and taking his way towards the church of Bungay. There also was the same semblance and fashion as in the other place, running upon the people in a visible sort, and with great swiftness did wring the necks of 2 persons more, and sorely tormented some others. 2 churches, 2 sets of deaths, a single storm, and a dog that, according to eyewitnesses, moved faster than any natural creature could." These dual events cemented Black Shuck's reputation as a death omen, a creature whose appearance foreshadows tragedy. But the legend isn't so simple, because not all accounts describe him as hostile. In fact, some portray him as a guardian. Throughout the 19th century, folklorists such as Walter Rye recorded stories from fishermen in Sheringham, who claimed a huge black dog followed them along the cliffs at dusk, never attacking, simply watching, as if guiding them home. Rye's collected stories paint a picture of a creature who is sometimes terrifying, sometimes protective, and always uncanny. That theme continued into the early 1900s. In the same highways and byways in East Anglia, Dutt mentions travellers who saw the silent hound pacing beside them at night, only for it to vanish at a crossroads or a bend in the road. These weren't embellished ghost stories. They were written as a genuine local belief, documented by respected authors. Even in the 20th century, the sightings didn't stop. During the 1970s, Norfolk newspapers, such as the Eastern Daily Press, reported motorists seeing a huge black dog on the newly built Cromer bypass. The creature appeared suddenly, crossed the road without a sound, and vanished. No harm followed these encounters, adding weight to the idea that Shuck sometimes watches, rather than hunts. Then in 2001, BBC Norfolk aired a local story from Aylmerton. A man walking his dog claimed he saw a massive black hound with glowing eyes pacing the edge of the woods, before it disappeared without a trace. The BBC coverage brought the legend back into the public conversation, reminding many that the creature's story isn't confined to dusty folklore books. And in 2014, archaeologists excavating near Leiston Abbey uncovered the skeleton of an unusually large dog, nearly 6 feet from nose to tail. While scientists didn't connect the skeleton to Black Shuck, the discovery reignited public fascination, landing in outlets such as BBC News and The Independent. The legend resurfaced, not because anyone claimed the bones belonged to Shuck, but because the physical remains reminded people that a giant dog did once exist here, and that legends often grow from real-world roots. Across all of these accounts, one thing is constant. Black Shuck is always large, always silent, and always unforgettable. He appears in moments of danger, in storms, in isolation, at crossroads, the places where folklore says the veil between worlds is thinnest. Some believe he's a demon, others say he's a guardian spirit of the coast, and some whisper that he walks ahead of death, not as its bringer, but as its warning. But whether protector or omen, Black Shuck remains one of the most consistently documented supernatural figures in British history. His legend survives because people continue to see something massive, silent, and impossible to explain, long after 1577. And so, on stormy nights when the wind howls across the marshes of Suffolk, some still claim they've seen a pair of glowing eyes staring from the darkness, or just one, as big as a saucer, and blazing like fire. Whatever Black Shuck is, his story isn't finished. And if the old tales are true, you'll know when he's near long before you see him. You'll feel the silence first, then the fear, and then from the shadows, the soundless steps of the great black dog of East Anglia. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment below. I want to know whether you think the Black Shuck is real or something completely fabricated. New episodes drop regularly, each one a dive into the strange, the haunted, and the things we were never meant to understand. Until next time, keep your lights low, your curiosity high, and stay tuned for the next episode of The End Reel.